Welcome to the Living Large Theater podcast, where we talk about the issues important to you. Admission is free. All you need is a sense of humor and a thirst for entertainment.
And welcome to another edition of the Living Large Theater podcast. I am Billy Santiago, along with my good friend of 36 years, Gary Rodriguez, and producer extraordinaire, Noe Ayala. And coming up on the show today, we'll be talking to TxDOT spokesperson Rey Pedraza about the interchange, I-69, I-2, and of course, what would be our podcast without talking about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. That's all coming up, and we'll share some thoughts about Valentine's Day and an upcoming YouTube program you don't want to miss. But right now, with opening comments, here's Gary Rodriguez. A little down and out today, but he's here.
Down and out. Hey, the Cowboys may lose. That don't mean me down and out. They're down and out. Hey, 36 years, Billy. Where did the time go? We've been friends for 36 years. What a blast it's been, man.
It has.
We've traveled together. We've lived together. We've worked together.
We got in trouble together.
We probably got a little angry at each other together, but here we are.
That's right.
We're doing an award-winning podcast, and we are living large. We hope you are too. And yes, indeed, Billy, oh my goodness, Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about them for a little bit. And, you know, I know the ladies may not want to hear too much about football, but on the other hand, as I see more and more sports on TV, you got the women there running high hog on the sports shows, talking about football and baseball and basketball.
I kind of like that, Gary. You know
what?
To females
I think it's important to get the female point of view on sports, professional sports, the business, and also the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan. I grew up in Dallas, and I always have high hopes. We had Jimmy Johnson, who I consider one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks in history, let go after a few years because he couldn't.
You mean coach?
Coach, yes,
okay.
Yeah. He let go after a few years because he just couldn't take Jerry Jones, and now I can't take Jerry Jones. What is he doing? He's got Mike McCarthy. He's got Kellen Moore. He's got Dak Prescott. He's got Zeke Elliott. And I just think we're not getting a good return on our investment. What do you think?
I agree. I think they're overpaying for Dak. He's average. I've said that for a number of years. Zeke, I think his better days are behind him now, but he had to pay him. Now you got Pollard, who is going to be a free agent. He's injured. He's going to be out for about 3 months.
Yeah, he's got to get surgery. He broke his fibula.
Yeah.
Broke his fibula.
So now you got Kellen Moore is interviewing for jobs.
I hope he gets a job, even if it's with Nicky Rowe High School. I hope he is out of there.
And then you got McCarthy, who was a good guy. He won a Super Bowl with the Packers, but I don't know. Is he the guy's going to take you to the promised land? According to Jerry Jones, yes, but I don't know. They ended up firing some coaches.
Yeah, they got rid of Leon Lett.
Defensive line, I thought they played pretty good this year. What the hell's going on with that?
I don't know. I think it was just to make it look like something's being done, and we're still stuck with the core of the.
Well, you can't get rid of Dak. He's going to cost. You know how much he's going to cost against the cap next year? $52 million, Gary.
He's not worth it. He's just not worth it. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a great man. I got to tell you that. And as a specimen of a football player, he's got it. He's got the height, the strength, the talent. I just don't think that he has the mental acuity to make those split-second decisions that you have to make when you have TJ Watt or JJ Watt or whoever Watt is coming after you. He freaks. He starts throwing, and either that, then I have another theory. It's either that or we need to hook him up with Dr. Manrique and get him some Lasix. I don't know who he's throwing to. It's like he's throwing to ghosts out there.
I was wondering about that on Sunday. I said, who the hell are you throwing the damn ball to, man?
Oh, my goodness. Dak. I tell you what, if I had any tears left, I would have cried. We are talking with Rey Pedraza here in just a minute. He is the spokesperson for TxDOT, but right now we're going to continue with a little bit of the football theme. Bengals Chiefs, they play on Sunday night, and the first game is the 49ers Eagles. Billy, what do you think about the Bengals Chiefs game?
Well, I was watching Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp this morning before I came over here.
Why would you?
And they were talking about somebody was saying that Burrow owns the Chiefs because he's beaten them like 3 times in a row.
3 times, yeah.
And so they're calling Arrowhead Burrowhead.
Oh.
And some guys on the Chiefs aren't very happy about it. Travis Kelce came out and said, hey, they're giving us bulletin board material. They better watch out come Sunday. And then yesterday I was watching Patrick Mahomes, some video on Patrick Mahomes.
How's he looking with his leg and all that?
You know what? You could tell he's favoring. He's not limping, but he's trying real hard not to limp so people won't be saying he's not going to be able to do it. But I'll tell you what, though, the Bengals are going to come after him on Sunday. He's either going to have to 1, 2, 3 pass or try to get out of trouble, and he won't be able to maneuver, and he'll sack him, and he might get hurt again, man.
You're talking about Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Joe Burrow has shown me a lot. He's super impressed me. He's actually surprised me, but I'm sticking with Mahomes and the Chiefs.
I got the Bengals. It's only a 1 point difference to you. Bengals are favored by 1 point now.
All right. Well, we'll see who goes to the Super Bowl. What do you think about the 49ers and the Eagles?
Man, the Eagles are hot, dude.
The Eagles are
so
stacked.
are the 49ers, but they got a rookie quarterback. I think the Eagles will figure it out on the defensive side, how to handle that rookie quarterback. And I think the Eagles, the way Hurts is playing right now, even with the shoulder injury,
he's a bad dude, man. I don't know how Tua replaced that guy at Alabama because what I'm seeing from Jalen Hurts, he is the Eagles right now. He really is. When he can't get a pass in there, he'll run it, and even knowing he's going to run, they can't stop him.
He doesn't look fast, but he can stride.
He knows when to run and how to run. This is a living large theater. So I'm taking the 49ers. And what do you feel comfortable taking the Eagles?
I got the Eagles at home.
All right, Billy.
So you want to do a little wager here, Gary?
Sure. Breakfast taco.
Breakfast tacos. Plural here. Okay,
so I'm taking Chiefs, 49ers. Billy's taking the Bengals and the Eagles. Noah, you want in on this?
Couple tacos. Come on, no.
I think I want the Eagles too, man.
Okay.
The Eagles and Bengals.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you're ganging up on me now, huh?
That's our guest here. What he thinks.
Ray, what do you think, man? You got a dog in this fight here?
You know what? I think Eagles.
Okay. All right. So
and the Bengals Chiefs, Ray, which one?
Chiefs.
Okay.
Good. So there we go. So we got to
wait for some breakfast tacos from both of them, Gary and Ray.
Next week.
There you go. Hey, this is the Living Large Theater. You can find us at the Living Large Theater at gmail.com. Remember, the is very important. The Living Large Theater at gmail.com. We're also on Facebook. You can call Noe if you want to get on board as one of our premier sponsors, 956-451-1633. You can also hear us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeart, and Google. We have a question now to Noe from Jimmy in Brownsville. Well, I didn't know we were taking questions already, but Jimmy says, Noe, I live in McAllen, but I'm on the island a lot. Can you help me with security? Because I heard Gary say you're good with security. Any suggestions, Noe, on what Jimmy can do to protect his house in McAllen when he's on the island?
Yes, call me, 956-451-1633.
Okay, Jimmy, there you go. There you go. Your security problems are taken care of if you call Noe, 956-451-1633.
And Gary, let this be known. Noe does call up in attics, okay?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yes.
Whatever it takes.
He'll see all the mannequins up there and all the books from college and everything else that people store in their attics.
And all the Billies, they're up there.
Hey, Living Large Theater is honored to have a very good friend of ours on the show today. It is TxDOT spokesman Rey Pedraza, who also had an illustrious career in radio, spending a lot of years down here in radio in the Rio Grande Valley. Ray, welcome to the Living Large Theater.
Hey, thanks.
What's up, Ray?
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about your radio career before we jump into your current career. Radio, where were you down here? I used to hear you and see you, so I know you did some TV, but let's start with radio down here. What did you do?
I came down here in 1995 to work at Que Pasa.
Okay.
99.5.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect to stay in the Valley very long.
What
but
kept
here
you?
I am.
What kept you here?
Oh, definitely the place.
Yeah,
the
right?
Valley's a special place.
It
Very
really is.
very family friendly. Got married, had kids, bought a house, and here I am all these years later. I love it.
There you
here.
go. Well, I know that you had a big following in radio, and then you morphed into television. Talk about that.
I did TV news at Channel 4 from 2003 to 2009. Loved it. Then after that, I got a chance to work for the city of McAllen. Did some PIO for City of McAllen, and then also did PR marketing for STC. And then this opportunity with TxDOT came along. So here I am now.
Wow. So you've fallen into the footsteps of somebody who's also very popular, Octavio Sainz.
Mr. Voice.
Yeah, he's got the voice, and watch out because he's a fencer. He'll poke you. So you followed up after him. And what does your job entail? I know you have to do interviews when people call you and want the TxDOT perspective on either what's happening now or future plans. So what do you do daily? What's a day in the life of Rey Pedraza?
So public information officer, basically disseminating public information to the media and to the community. Also field calls from the community directly. Also work on internal projects, videos, communicating internally as well with the organization, and then also networking with my colleagues across the state. We're a big TxDOT family, so during hurricane season, I back up my colleagues along the coast if a weather event comes along, and then also winter weather events up north. If our colleagues need assistance with anything up north, so we're just a big statewide family. So
you're regional right here.
Correct.
Okay, and your district is 15.
The FAR district is District 21.
Okay.
And we cover the 8 southernmost counties of South Texas. So
I got you.
It's a big region. We maintain 6,000 lane miles of highway in 8 counties. So pretty large district.
There's a lot of road down here that you guys are responsible for. I mean, how do you prioritize? And I know we're going to talk about the interchange, but not only how do you prioritize, but how do you fund?
That's
Uncle Joe, right?
No, we have a legislative delegation and communities that advocate for infrastructure needs, as well as our administration at TxDOT advocating for infrastructure needs and funding, and so that's how we get it done.
That's awesome. You got a lot of work down here. I know y'all do the signs on the silver alerts when the elderly are missing, or the amber alerts. That all comes out of Austin, or is it done regionally?
The direct message boards?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that comes from Austin.
I got you. That's good. Talk about the interchange. I know, man, there's a lot going on right now. I think for the most part, the motorists are patient. They understand that to get something greater than what you have to go through little growing pains, a little inconvenience. But are we on track? And what can we expect when it's all said and done?
We are on track, and some relief is in sight in the very near future. And I'll get to that in just a second. But I want to give people some background on this project, because a lot of people, when they think about the interchange, they think of the 4 connectors that are there at I-2 and I-69C. But this project actually extends through 3 cities, because not only are we widening the connectors to 2 lanes each, we're also widening I-2 between 2nd Street and McAllen and to Stewart Road and San Juan. So the interstate is going to be 8 lanes wide between those communities.
Right there.
Correct.
Is that because y'all have identified a bottleneck there, or is it because of the feeders that are dropping people in there to kind of add more congestion? So you have to widen the highway.
Right. Because we're increasing the capacity on the connectors, we have to increase the capacity on the highway. So I don't know if you recall, but traffic would back up there in FAR as everybody was trying to get to that Edinburgh connector. And then on southbound I-69C, the traffic was bottlenecking, trying to squeeze into those 1-lane connectors. So this is going to increase capacity not only on I-69 and the connectors, but also on I-2.
I got you.
So when is the project going to be complete?
Substantial completion of the entire project is expected by the end of the year. And we've reached some very important milestones. Coming up this spring, we're expecting that the McAllen to Edinburgh connector will open, and also the Edinburgh to Harlingen connector will open. And then the 4th and final connector, because the Edinburgh to McAllen opened a long time ago. But the 4th and final connector, which is the San Juan or Harlingen to Edinburgh connector, that's going to be the last one that gets demolished probably in June. And then it'll get rebuilt, hopefully, and be done by the end of the year.
I like the way y'all created, I don't know, I've heard it called this. I don't know if y'all call it that, the Texas turnaround. So to get to Harlingen from Edinburgh. You go south, and then you go west to McAllen, and somewhere you make a little dogleg turn back to head
It's
to
on
the
Sugar,
east.
right? On
Sugar Road
yeah.
underpass. And you know what? Welcome relief for drivers. That is going to be going away March, maybe a little after March.
But it's worked out so well. Not that we want it to stay, but I'm saying for being in a crunch, it's actually pretty efficient. I mean, I've taken it several times, and you think, oh man, I'm going to be clogged up here, but you're back going east really fast.
Yeah, it moves. And that's the goal of this project, is to always keep traffic moving. So yeah, with these connectors, some very welcome relief. We've been asking drivers to be patient for a long time.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting creative too with finding alternate routes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
I used to make the drive to Weslaco when I was working in Weslaco, and I always left home early. Like if I left home after 7 o'clock, it was going to be a traffic jam. So I try to leave like by 6:30. So there's not a lot of traffic out. So I just get on that connector and boom,
Yeah.
on my way to Weslaco. But I could imagine now, if you leave the house later than 7:15, you're stuck in traffic for a good 30 minutes.
Right. And you know what? With this project, we also get asked a lot, what's happening in San Juan? What are you guys building there? It's part of the interchange project, actually.
Yeah.
So people are seeing what they call, some people call bridges. They're actually called braided ramps. They are an expressway entrance and exit at the same location. So we're going to be able to get traffic in and off the expressway at the same site.
Mm-hmm.
For eastbound and westbound. And then we have another one of those braided ramps at Jackson Avenue in McAllen, headed westbound.
Okay.
So, and then also another thing that's going to happen this spring, I don't know if you've really paid attention, but right now the 4 lanes that are open are on the north side of the freeway. And so the south side is being reconstructed. So at Jackson Road and Business 83 there in Far, you've probably seen some bridge demolition there. That bridge is being completely redone.
I heard that whole interchange and the whole area there is not going to look the same in 3 years.
It's not.
And that when you look at it in 3 years, you'll pretty much forget how it ever was, because it's going to be more efficient, more driver friendly. I think the good thing that underscores and confirms what I think is patience on the drivers. I haven't heard a lot of road rage issues there.
I haven't either. I know that
Ray doesn't answer his messages often anymore.
No, I mean on social media, I think some people understand what we're trying to do there. There's progress, there's growth. One of the questions that we get asked a lot is, why wasn't it built right the first time? This was built 30 years ago, and so the population of the valley was a lot less. And I mean, you have to consider what funding was available back then as well. So, but I think that once this is complete, again, substantial completion by the end of the year, I think there's going to be some welcome relief for drivers.
Absolutely.
I remember back in '93 when it first opened, man. Sunday, what are y'all going to do? Oh, we're going to drive the interchange.
Oh, you know what? I actually saw a comment on social media. Some guy told me that when he was in high school, they did a field trip to the interchange to go see it. Yeah.
That was like the thing to do on the weekend, man.
That was a big deal back then. Hey, you're listening to the Living Large Theater podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeart, and Google. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us at thelivinglargetheater@gmail.com. We're talking to District 21 TxDOT spokesman Rey Pedraza, who we also know from a great career in radio. Talk about your engineer. Who's the chief engineer of District 21 right now?
Pete Alvarez, he's our district engineer.
And how do we get a hold of him and thank him for putting all the drawings together, or who helps him put the drawings together of what we're going to have here in the interchange?
Well, Dragados Police Joint Venture is a contractor for this project, and they've been very good about communicating with the public. They are on social media. They also have a project hotline, 956-803-3560. They also have a website, dpjvtx.com.
Yeah, I've seen their trucks everywhere.
dpjvtx.com. If you want to find out anything about this project, if you want to see the renderings of what the final product's going to look like, you can go there. You could also go to their website and sign up for traffic alerts. If you want to know, hey, what's going to be closed? What might I anticipate on my commute? Yeah. You can sign up to get email and text alerts from the contractor.
See, that alone makes it worthwhile of having you here today on the Living Large Theater. Tell us again what you just said about how to contact them and the information they are. Obviously, they can't share everything, but what can they share with the public?
So yeah, they can share, renderings what the project's going to look like, any upcoming road closures, any advisories that they send out to media. You can download those for yourself as well. They also do a project newsletter because, as I mentioned, this project is so big, it spans across 3 communities. So they do a monthly newsletter to the cities of McAllen, to the cities of FAR, and the cities of San Juan to make sure that they're always communicating. So along the project corridor, there are a lot of businesses that are being impacted by the construction. So if there's any business or homeowner there along the project corridor, they're more than welcome to call the project contractor with any concerns.
Have you noticed any businesses like closing down because of the construction, or are they actually thriving because of the construction? I don't know. I think it could go either way. What do you think?
I have not learned of any businesses closing. I do know that from time to time, they'll reach out to the project contractor and they'll have a concern about a lane or ramp closure, and they'll reach out to the contractor. And so they'll try to work with those businesses to make sure that, they are getting traffic.
Yeah. We have a question here coming in from Bob in Donna. Bob wants to know, Ray, the land under the bridge going from Edinburgh to McAllen is all empty right now. There used to be a mobile home park there. What will there be when this is all completed? Will it just be empty space?
I have not learned what that's going to be, but I do know that this project is going to have some drainage improvements.
Oh, nice.
So there could be. I know that the contractor is going to be installing some detention ponds.
Sure.
So
okay.
I'm not certain if that location is going to be where those are going to be placed.
Okay.
But I can find out. All
right. We're talking with Rey Pedraza, spokesperson for TxDOT. That is the Texas Department of Transportation, District 21. I-2, any necessary modifications to I-2 coming up, or is it good for a while?
Well, we have projects throughout the district.
I'm sorry. I meant 69. 69 is the one that goes north and south.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you had mentioned 2 a while ago, but 69, are we good with 69 for a while, or?
Yeah. So this project extends from on I-69C from Nolana to Cage. So that's pretty much the portion of I-69 that's impacted by this project.
No. What about the project up
by
Furious and all that?
Fremont. They're going all around Fremont.
Yeah, because when I drive to Houston now, I don't go through Robstown anymore. I'm on. Is that an I-69 corridor or?
Yes, but I don't have the latest information on the project because that's the TxDOT Corpus Christi district.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good work going on. Go ahead, Noe.
Do you get any pushback from the old timers when it says, no, that's 83. That's Expressway 83.
It's a dual designation highway. So if they say US 83 or I-2, I mean, we get people that say that, or also I-69C or US 281.
Sure. Good deal.
We were doing traffic reports on the radio station when I was in radio, and they would call me and go, hey, Billy, they got this I-2 thing going on right now. Do you still want us to identify it as I-2 or still 83? And people know it as 83. So I said, well, just do them both, just in case, the younger people or the people that want to remember it as I-2 will continue to use that. So,
Ray, where do you office out of?
In FAR.
Right there.
By the interchange.
By the interchange. Yeah. Okay. Who's in that place? Because it's a pretty big building. You have draftsmen in there, engineers.
We have design, planning,
administrators,
construction. Yeah, administration.
What can the public? I've seen the public. Can the public go in there, or what business?
Yeah, sure. We have a reception area in there.
And what do they do? Y'all renew license plates, or what?
Actually, that's the Department of Motor Vehicles, and they're right next to us. So if anybody has questions, any DOT questions regarding registrations or titles, their office is right next to ours.
So when all is said and done, what's going to be the highest point of one of the bridges here? 80 feet, 70 feet? Because I know there's one in Austin that's just absolutely scary, and I don't want one of those down there. I have a fear of heights.
Yeah, I'm not certain on the exact height of the highest ramp, but they are, going to be a little bit higher than what we've had in the past.
Billy, you got to hold my hand. We're talking with Rey Pedraza. This is the Living Large Theater.
Hey, Ray, what about the loop? They've been talking about the loop from the bridges bypassing certain areas. So
that's probably an RMA project, no?
Is that
yes.
That
is.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, Rey Pedraza, it's been a blast having you here today. Noe's got something to say.
I actually know Ray he's a really man of faith. This gentleman is a real man of faith. He's my brother in Christ, and I've met him. What year was it, Ray? 2016,
I believe so.
Yeah, but through church.
Amen.
And, he's a a man of great faith. He's my brother in Christ, and
That is awesome.
And you know, I can say the same thing about Noe, man. His devotion is very admirable, and he's a great friend.
Well,
I'm
faith
glad I ran into him
faith
today.
is a great foundation for everything we do, especially in my life, and I'm glad to know that you guys share that as well.
Well, here's a story about Noe with us. Gary and I were trying to kick off this podcast, so we would have lunch at Chili's, and we would talk about stuff, what we're going to do, what equipment we're going to buy, and everything. And then one day, Gary shows up and says, "Hey, Billy, I got this guy named Noe 2 years ago. He was calling me about doing a podcast, but then COVID hit and got his equipment stolen and all that. But he's calling me back, and he wants to meet with us to see maybe we can team up together." I mean, this guy came out of nowhere, and in a matter of a half hour, we go, "You're hired."
Yeah,
you know? And
that in and of itself was a blessing.
it was.
We're very
fate.
fortunate.
You know what? I have a story about fate. So, me coming to the Valley in '95, I get a call out of the blue to come work down here. And then
Where were you at before you came down
I was
here?
in the Bryan College Station area.
Okay. You
And
on
then-
radio there?
I was doing radio there, and just out of the blue, I get a call. Hey, how would you be interested in coming to work in Weslaco, Texas? And I had to pull out a map and say, wow, where's Weslaco?
Really?
So
So,
then,
where are you originally from, Ray?
I was born in Brenham, so I'm from the Brazos Valley.
Okay.
You have any Bluebell ice cream in your pocket?
I don't, but I know where to find some.
So who called you?
It was AC Cruz. He was my program director.
Oh,
at the time.
wow.
Yeah.
How did he find you?
I think we had a mutual friend in
Oh,
the
okay.
music industry. I think maybe been a record exec.
Yeah.
That
Well,
Isn't that
AC
funny how you connect with people?
AC does a great podcast now up in San Antonio. So finish your story about fate.
So I ended up meeting my wife about a year. We were married about a year later. Again through fate. Through a relative who said, "Hey, let me introduce you to someone." And so we met that evening, and I just think, man, had I not gotten that phone call to come here,
Yeah.
had that relative
you
not
go.
said,
Isn't that something?
So
Yeah,
the hand
so
of God.
it's fate.
I always
Yeah.
tell everybody, nothing happens by accident.
No.
Everything
God's
happens.
got a plan for
Everything
you.
Keeper of the
happens for a
stars.
reason. Amen.
Mhm.
There you go. Rey Pedraza, it's been a blast. Hold on. Don't go away. We're going to talk about Valentine's right now. You've mentioned your wife a couple of times. Do you make it special for her? Does she make it special for you? Or do y'all make it special for the whole family?
we make it special for the whole family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That is good. Well, Billy, what are you going to do for Valentine's?
Probably sit home, watch the NBA.
There you go. Okay.
Something romantic.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Hey, Billy teased it earlier. The Toast of Texas is coming up on YouTube soon. That's a channel that we are all putting together. We're going to visit local breweries, wineries, and distilleries here in the state of Texas. And we want to thank you for joining us today on the Living Large Theater. We can reach us at the livinglargetheater@gmail.com. Ray, one more email or number for somebody that our listeners can contact with questions or comments.
Sure. The easiest place to go is to the contractor's website, dpjvtx.com. dpjvtx.com. They can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Our it's text.far on Twitter and text.fartx on Facebook.
Okay, thank you very much. Billy, take us out of here.
All right. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, also iHeart Podcast Network, and Google. And when you do listen, hey, give us a rating, give us a review, share it with a friend, because that increases our reach, and we really appreciate your support. This is the Living Large Theater Podcast, along with Billy Santiago, Gary Rodriguez, our producer extraordinaire, Noe Ayala, and our guest today, Rey Pedraza from TxDOT.
Thank you,
Until
guys.
next week,
Thank you.
take good care, and, well, we can't say go Cowboys. Go Bengals and Eagles.